Welcome back and moving on to our last segment for today, talking of course about the year 2018. Well, we need to think a lot about what we achieved during the year 2017 and how to start with the full energy, with the positive energy, talking about to motivate ourselves, talking about happiness. I know that we are facing a lot of challenges and definitely it's on our daily routine life challenges. But the idea is how to be flexible, how to learn how to live with your challenges, because to be happy, this is something that is really very, very important and healthy as well. Today we have with us Mrs. Miret El Sukkari, happiness leader. First of all, good morning and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to both of you.
Good morning too. Unfortunately, some people, when they hear us talking about happiness and the positive energy, they think that we are living in our la-la land.
Yes.
In another world, especially that we are passing through a very critical period, whether when we talk about the everyday life of any citizen, when we talk about political situation, economic situation. So how can we provide them with this positive energy, especially that, as Nashwa just mentioned, we will be passing through a very new year, 2018, and we hope that this would bring happiness to all people all around the world.
Let me talk a little bit about research. So they've done a lot of research because it's very interesting to the world now, to scientists, with this happiness idea. And there's a lot of research by Harvard, by other schools, whatever. And there's something that we've also have what we call intergenerational, or there's been a research like since the 60s, seeing what happens with happiness. So in reality, they found out that happiness has nothing to do with the circumstances. And how do they know that? They've tested people who had a big disaster happen to them, like a huge accident or the loss of loved ones. And they found that they have the same happiness set point within 1 to 3 years. So we all are set like a thermostat and a happiness. We've decided how happy we want to be. And no matter what happens in our life, we will come back to it. And they've also seen people who won something very big, like a lottery. And also they came back to the same happiness thermostat setting within 3 years, much faster sometimes. So we know that. So they've decided, and I even have a book today I'm reading from Harvard about happiness. So they're now saying that it's actually a decision. And I know for people, they're thinking, decision that I will be happy, yes. It's a daily decision in the mind, and if you say it for 30 days in your mind, I've decided to be happy, no matter what, then the mind starts to find the things that make them happy. So it could be the cup of tea. It could be the kiss of my child. The mind will look for what will make you happy. It really should not, and it does not, they have done research, have to do with the circumstances of your
This will be a very short-term, happiness. Not for the full day, for example, like if I don't have money. I'm passing through a very difficult period in my life. How I will be happy?
We all know people who are well off and not happy, and we know very poor people, and you're wondering how they're happy. So it has nothing to do with the circumstances again. But what happens in the brain, it's important to know the neuroscience. What happens in the brain is, I don't want to get too scientific on this show, is that when you train the brain from the decision that I'm going to see what the moments of happiness, it starts getting a pattern inside. It creates what we call neural pathways that are seeing happiness. And it starts to seeing it more. And if it sees happiness, it actually produces what we call serotonin. So it looks like little things, but you start feeling joy in your life. I'm serious. Like a cat passes by you, or someone smiles in the street, and your eye starts looking for it. Because also you've trained the brain just by making that sentence. There's a part of the brain called the amygdala. The doctors know about it. And the amygdala's job is to concentrate on what you tell it to concentrate on. So if you tell it, I want to be happy, show me, what could I be happy about?
I think this is very much, cannot separate happiness from talking about satisfaction of the current situation or something like this. But definitely, again, yes, we have many challenges. And the idea that we must learn also something about stress management. Yes. Because I can never be happy, for example, if I have a sick child and I cannot treat this child, for example. I can never be happy. I can never be happy in a certain situation. Many challenges we are facing every day, yes, for example. So it is the idea not to be happy as much as to be satisfied or have the peace of mind.
Yes. So when you tell your mind that, it starts to do that. So like, I have a sick child. And I'm,
This is an example.
yes,
but I
of
mean,
course. Like maybe I have a sick child and I even don't have the money. That's two issues to actually take them to be treated well. But in my mind, I'm like thankful that I have the child, Aslan, that I actually have the child. The mind starts to find what's good. And when you're calm, that's calming down the stress. Your mind thinks better. So maybe I have a relative that can help. Maybe I don't have to pay so much. Maybe I can find help that isn't paid. Other solutions start coming up. So what
so
happens
the
is,
stress management.
yes,
We
you
need to focus
do
on
the
this,
stress. And the part of it is by the decision. Now, there's other tools for the stress. Like science now says the number one stress release tool is something called emotional freedom techniques, EFT. And I'm an expert in that. I've studied all the levels and I know about EFT. And this is the Harvard Medical School that said that. And it's by touching certain parts of the body that it will release the stress from the body. So if I have challenges in my life, I don't have money, I have a sick person, my job is, maybe I don't have a job, many, many things. My relationships are going bad, whatever. I need to tap this. And the tapping is actually also scientific. It's sending serotonin through the body. And when the system calms down, the rational mind can think better of solutions.
But I need to go to someone, or I can make this at home, for example.
EFT specifically, which is Emotional Freedom Techniques, is a self-help tool. So basically, for most of your issues, you can do it yourself. You can watch a YouTube video. I have 400 videos. There's millions or hundreds of thousands of videos of others also on YouTube, and watch it. But if it's a big issue, like, oh, I don't know, you lost your father and you were the one who's driving, something that looks big, or you lost all your money, that's too big, or your father was beating you when you were very young too much. Big issues, you need a bit of help. And I'm going to give you just an easy way of understanding that. So we all know how to cook the basic food every day in our house. But if we have a big party, we go to an expert to make the food a bit more special. So basically, you can use the stress release tool every day for 5 minutes, like you wash your face, to make sure you're okay. And depending on your issue. Like today, my issue is I really don't know how to pay the school fees. Or today, my issue is I woke up and my child is very sick and I can't, okay, I have the money,
work
but I
and the
can't
child is
find
sick and
the right medical care in Egypt. Like, I don't know where to go. It stresses you out. You need to at least calm the system, because then the rational mind can think. Because the way we've been created by God is that when we are stressed, our rational mind shuts off, and the irrational mind is the one, and that's the emotions think. And it makes you swirl. It doesn't make you think clearly. And we actually know that in our culture by when people say, calm down, let's think rationally.
Breathe.
Breathe, or drink lemonade, sit down, think rationally, because people know you're not thinking rationally in any point of stress. So that's one thing you need to practice daily in our challenges, although the whole world is saying, 2018 is going to be different. And I think I was here last year too, because of the numbers. There's the study of numerology. So 2017 was a sowing of a seed, it's a 1. 2018 is a 2. And anyway, the numbers make a difference. So 2018 is a really hopeful, like my face lights up when I think of 2018, because I think 2018 too, I really believe is going to be different. And if everybody implants this belief in them, this is going to be a good year, this is the year I'm going to do some of my objectives or goals, or I call them desires. And that's another topic, because if you call them goals, the mind just shuts off. They sound boring, they sound hard, they sound like I have to work.
Hard, as you mentioned.
They sound like I have to work to make the goal happen. If you call them desires, the words matter. Then it feels like it's from the heart. I want to do it. And then you go to the gym, or you do the diet, or anything. And I came up with this wording because I study a lot how the words affect the brain and the neuroscience.
Everything actually is inside us.
Everything is inside us. And we have to be careful with the words too. And that's why I'm saying start your day by choosing. And it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean that because I'm a happiness leader that I'm happy all the time, by the way. That's not possible, because I'm human. And all humans will have their days of that. But the thing is, you know that you have the tool to quickly clean up. So if instead of it lasting for months or weeks, which used to happen to me, and that's why I studied this stuff, now it lasts maybe a day. Like, Mirat, come back to your ways. You have your tools. It's like you knowing you have the tools to fix the car.
But I want to know, I want to listen to some examples, successful examples, how you deal with people facing very difficult moments in their lives, and they're coming to you and they want to
Yes.
forget all
there's
about
so
it.
many. I had a young girl, she's changed her whole life now. They do write the testimonials on the rating on my page. But this is one of my, like special, and she's now becoming a coach. She is a coach. She came in, she was 31, and she said, someone told her at work, I will never forget, you're too young to be in this state. She said even in the daytime, she would be biting her teeth, her face was very tight, she was really miserable.
Terrible.
And it wasn't like she was abused with a child, no big stories. But there was a lot of stuff going on here about like, the boss isn't nice, people don't teach me what they need to teach, people hide information, I don't get what I need, my parents
She
don't
thinks a lot.
This was happening in her brain in the subconscious. It's not always visible. So this was affecting her a lot. And we worked like 5 sessions only. It doesn't take a long time. EFT is very fast. And she started to cry. From the first session, she said her parents didn't know what was going on.
But what's the time limit? You said 5 sessions in a
I
week,
give
or-
1.5 hours.
Uh-huh.
That's the way I work.
Okay.
So, but some people give 45 minutes, some people give an hour, but I've chosen to give an hour and a half to give a lot in that session. And what you do is you're going in this computer and delete, 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 so the computer viruses leave. And by the 3rd time, her friends were saying, what did you do to your face? There's something different. Are you doing facials? And she said, no. And she actually wrote that as a testimony. She said, it's the best facial on earth. And we know that because you've known me for 2 years. Don't you see my face change as we go through the years? People walk in after 2 and say, you're getting younger. And it's true. There's not an advertisement. Look at my pictures throughout the years. You get younger because you're clear inside. Because every message that's not nice, that's inside and saved for years. For years. If your parents yelled at you when you were young, it's saved somewhere. It's not gone, by the way. We save all the information on the hard disk. It's all there. So all these are giving signals all the time, 24 hours, 7 days a week. Everyone its own signal. The nice ones too, like mom hugged me beautifully, it's giving a nice signal somewhere too. It's a vibration. But if I have a lot of negative small signals, right now I'm not talking about people who have big traumas, they're affecting me and affecting my health, they're affecting me, my way I breathe. One of the things people say right away is, I breathe better. I can feel that I breathe deeper. And that's the first thing that comes very fast, perhaps in the same session. Like,
I realized before you go on air that you were closing your eyes like that.
Oh, did you
before
see
the
me
interview.
do-
Yeah. So I wanted to know the reason. I know that
I
you
actually
were...
did what I call mental tapping.
Okay.
I just closed my eyes and I centered myself through tapping, but without touching, which you can do. It's possible.
It
So in
helps a
situations where you're out with people, people are yelling, you're upset, the boss is saying things you can't understand, just take a deep breath and start tapping your body, because every time you touch your body in those specific points, you are telling the body to send out serotonin. It's
Okay.
clearing. And serotonin is the happiness
hormone.
And other hormones, by the way, too.
Okay.
Well, also we need to talk about that, something that usually happens among all of us, talking about we never put objectives or we never put goals. I will not say goals because just as you mentioned, but for example, if I just put for myself a schedule or something like this for a short-term one for the next year, for example, but we never do this. It is always that we postpone. We don't think we are overwhelmed with all the responsibilities that we have, especially when it comes to women in general. Maybe the idea that usually the mothers in general or women, they are not thinking except about the surroundings, all people around, but never to think about herself. How important is this to change for the next year?
If you want to. Again, it's not a must. It's not like everybody, New Year resolutions, you have to write your goals. It's becoming a have to, and I always want it to be a want to. We don't have to, but if you want to change something, the way you eat, the way you exercise, maybe learn a language, whatever you want to do, then yes, try and do it. I think the reasons we don't, first of all, culturally, we were not brought up doing that. That's the one thing. Secondly, I feel, because this is my own theory on it, is that because humans don't like to fail, the child wants the clapping from the parents from 6 months. They smile and you want the mom to say, how, and smile. We all want that. But if I've done that before, after written goals or thought of goals, this year I'm going to the gym and I paid, this year I'm going to diet, this year I'm going to learn English, this year I'm going to do this. And we didn't do it. And by the way, research says by March, 90% of people have dropped those resolutions. By March. It starts early, but by March, almost 90% are not going to do it. So we failed and failed and failed 5, 10 times. We don't want to do that anymore. So we don't want to put those goals. And I looked at goals a lot 3, 4 years ago. I sat with myself and I said, why are goals so heavy? They were heavy for me too. And what's going on? And I started reading about goals and resolutions and all the research on it. And I discovered that. And that's why I came up with, no, not goals, desires. And just if your heart wants it, let's do it. If it's not, you don't have to. You don't have to go to the gym, by the way, and make it doable for you. If the book says you should exercise 4 times a week, 40 minutes, and you only want to do it on Friday for an hour, just do it Friday. Maybe later it will be 4 hours. There's no shoulds, because the shoulds, the minute you tell the mind should, it starts rebelling. It's a natural instinct. Rebellion is a natural instinct. We broke it in the children. They broke it in us in schools. But the natural instinct of the mind, because that's why we say, I'm the one who says I want to go to the gym and I'm not doing it. Like there's a fight.
Yes.
Because the rebellion part is rebellion. There is a fight in there. So if you start this year, maybe call them desires and write only what you really want to do. Doesn't matter what your friends are going to do, what anybody else is doing. And see, and I know women, I'm sorry, I'm going to answer your question. Women are very busy, and that's why I'm giving this. You don't have to walk 45 minutes a day or 4 times a week. Get once a week, it's better than nothing. You don't have to go to the course of English. Find someone online and learn it on your own pace. Take the whole year to learn a 6-week program, but you took the whole year. But at least that got done this year, because what happens is some of us, and I'm one of them, 10 years have passed, and like I've been wanting to do this. I swear, 10 years, like I wanted to do this.
Unfortunately, we ran out of time, but I want to end our conversation with this, that we have to think positively. And hopefully next time we'll be talking about children's anxiety and stress.
Yes.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Miraad Al-Sukkari, happiness coach. Thank you very much, Anne. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you too.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of our breakfast show. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas to everyone. Thank you for watching.
Braços dados e brilho em cada olhar. Sorrindo juntos nós podemos ir além. Nungam ko sang sang e bayo, modo 따뜻한 세상. Novo mundo orientado para o bem.
كلنا جايين من نفس الأب ونفس الأم.
من حواء ومن آدم من الآخر نفس الدم. هي حقيقة ولازم نرضى.
كلنا راكبين مركب واحدة.
أكيد رايحين نوصل مع بعض البر أمان. خوابك دنيا का जहाँ हो